unlike last season, I thought I wouldn't do what he did on Saturday, playing Kivio with Saliba, arresting Gabriel. He wouldn't have done it last season. So we'll have to expect sometimes not having this fluidity. He brought in Smith Rowe for the first time to start with Kahavas in front of Declan Rice. You expect some level of inconsistency in the performance because they've not been playing together for the season started. Yeah, Transit TV, welcome to the weekend roundup. We are back again. First of all, I need to apologize to our viewers. We've not been consistent with the videos because I made this little trip to Chicago trying to settle in. We promise from next week we'll start bringing our content as we used to do player ratings, pre-game shows, roundup, and or whatnot, whatever we have, we usually give you on the channel. It's going to come back from next week. So bear with us and enjoy the show today. Today is going to be an interesting one. I have the usual Musketeers on show. Ogum, I call him Old Reliable, is here. Richard is here today. Choma is here as well. And Nimi will be joining us, repping Chelsea as usual on this one this evening. You guys, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you, Reggie. Pleasure again to be here on Transit TV. It's been a minute, I believe. So it's wonderful to have all of you here. Let's do what we usually do.
Yeah, Richard, you there? Okay, Richard is frozen. Choma, good to see you back to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Reggie. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you, Ogum. Welcome, Richard. We're still expecting someone that I'm hoping gets here on time to make the show hotter.
Yes. No, Nini is going to join us in a minute. He just reached out to me. I trust him. I believe him. Another person would have loved to have today is our man from California, Bados. Well, he couldn't make it today. He was busy with work. He told us on this show that Chelsea was going to win the league, and he has maintained that for the past 2-3 weeks now. I was going to find out from him if he's still standing by by that prediction, but I'm sure he's going to be there on the comment section to do what he knows how to do best. So we got on this week. Last weekend started with, of course, we know Tottenham is not in Europe this season, so they replaced us now in the Fridays and Mondays fixtures. So they started the weekend with a 2-1 win over Crystal Palace away from home. Crystal Palace lost to them at Selhurst Park. I don't know, did any of you see that game?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit. Tottenham, again, Maddison and Son continued their goal, contribute their good start to the season for Tottenham. And they found a way this one as well. Got the 3 points, maintained their unbeaten start to the season, making a claim to some Tottenham fans are busy on the internet space that they're going to win the league. Well, I don't know, football fans, we don't learn. Arsenal just did the same last season, and I don't know how Tottenham feels that they have strong enough squad to go the whole this season. We will live to see how that one is going to pan out. But so far, they have been turning out results, unbeaten in the league, top of the table. I mean, what else can you ask for as a fan? So Tottenham fans at the moment are in the dreamland, and I'm happy for them. But we'll see how that goes. So far, I mean, their first 11 is as good as anyone, But after that, I don't know if they're, like everybody is saying, if there's any injury to any major or key members of that squad. We need to see how they're going to, deal with that. But so far, they've done well, unbeaten on the league, top of the table, and they are cruising. So that was the beginning of the weekend. On Friday, they had their fixture. So then on Saturday, Started with, I think it was Liverpool at home to Nottingham Forest. They wrapped that one up with a 3-0 win. Then a series of, for us in the United States here, 9 a.m. games. Arsenal at home to Sheffield United. Wolves played at a 2-2 draw with Newcastle. And West Ham surprisingly lost at home to Everton. Aston Villa won the 3-1 at home to Luton, and Brighton drew 1-1 with Fulham. And of course, Arsenal 5, Sheffield United 0. Chelsea, of course, again losing at home to Brentford. This is a straight loss now at the Stamford Bridge against Brentford. Choma used to always talk about teams having bogey teams in EPL. It seems that Brentford has become the bogey team for Chelsea. I hear they have now won more games at Stamford Bridge than Chelsea since I can't remember when. Chelsea now have lost. Have only won 3 out of 13 games at home in Stamford Bridge. So which is a very worrying statistics right there. Chelsea fans are having mixed feeling this time around. It's really an interesting time for them. Of course, yesterday, to wrap up the weekend, United lost at home 3-0 to Man City. And that wrapped up the weekend for us. Today, we're going to look at a few of these games. We'll look at the Chelsea-Brentford game. Of course, Arsenal, Sheffield United. Then the Old Trafford, Manchester Derby, United losing 3-0 to Man City. And we won't forget to also touch base on the game Newcastle, surprisingly, played at a 2-2 draw away to Wolves. So there's nowhere else to start. Let's start from the last to the first. United at home to City. Ugum, I don't know if you saw that game. For me, there wasn't much surprises, but okay, let me get your thoughts. Then,
like you said, it wasn't entirely surprising. What surprised me a little bit was the lineup that Erik ten Hag decided to go with against City. I don't know what he was trying to prove, whether he was trying to show that he's in charge and he will play whoever he wants to play, or there was something else going on. Because he made it quite easy for United. No, sorry, for City, with the way he lined up the squad, playing Harry Maguire with Lindelof, and playing Amrabat and taking him off at halftime. The whole thing was convoluted. It didn't look like Erik ten Hag was out to win that game, with the lineup that he put out. So many United fans have talked about Bruno Fernandes being played in the wrong position and all that. Those are all part of the whole thing going on at United. Erik ten Hag seems to have either run out of ideas or seems to have no idea as to what to do to get them back, firing. I'll stop there for now.
Emma, what's your general thoughts on the game?
I think what stood out for me, Ugum already mentioned, was the lineup. The lineup was not a lineup of someone who actually was coming out to a derby. And it's not just about coming out to a derby. You can't come out playing football and then you're facing City and you're being lackadaisical with your formation. I didn't understand the whole Amrabat. I mean, in his midfield, he just had 2 persons. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I only saw Amrabat, and who did I even see again? And the whole
Eriksen,
Bruno.
Exactly.
Exactly. I think we had actually come together and agreed that Eriksen is not like a starter. Eriksen is someone you bring in anyway. I'm so sorry because his mileage has dropped, judging from the health scare and his comeback and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're lining up Eriksen to start a game, then you should be playing Luton Town, not playing Manchester City.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I mean, Eriksen is someone that should come when a game is one, and then you need someone to stabilize or hold or, do whatever. You can't start him and expect to get anything out of the game. So I wasn't shocked. I knew he was going to mess it up as usual because pressure is coming at him like every time. Players are just acting up.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you on that one. Like I said, it didn't come as a surprise, but like Ugu mentioned, sometimes I said it here the last time. Sometimes these coaches come on into games and act as if there's an agreement not to win the games. I mean, Veron is fit, and you don't play him. Play Lindelof at left back, Harry Maguire and Evans in the middle, and you're facing Haaland and City. At the end of first half, you remove Amrabat from the midfield. The only person that is, I know he was on the yellow card, but still, the only person that is giving any fight in that middle, you take him off and play McTominay and Eriksen to face City's midfield. It was a little bit disturbing the way United approached that game. And what has stood out for me for United is the players' attitude. I mean, they say when it's derby time, form goes out of window. This is a game that players and teams usually play with heart, not finesse, or you just play to represent the city, to win the city from the other team. And United, both from their coach, like you guys have mentioned, and the players, they didn't show any sign that this was a local derby. Once the second goal was scored, the game was over. They dropped their heads and they didn't even give it a fight anymore. City just cruised to the end of that game, which is a very disturbing. And the unfortunate thing is that we have been at this sport with United so many times in the past 5-6 seasons. These players tend to down to some players. For me, attitude level, they have the wrong captain. Fernandez cannot rally his troops. He's even the first to drop his head when times go tough. So you look at it, you don't even know where to go with United. I know they're playing against City. Then another thing is, up to this point, you can't really say this is how United approach it. This is the start. This is what they're trying to do, which now brings the whole stuff to Erik ten Hag's table. I mean, as a coach, you can have an output that is not effective, or that is not working, or that they not work in the game. But presently, you can't really see what United is trying to do in any game. It looks like this is a bunch of I remember when we were young, we used to call it choosing. You just come, you choose your favorite players, you start playing. You just do whatever you can to win the game. There's no pattern, there's no style, there's no guide. It's just a little bit disturbing for United at the moment. So that it was a very embarrassing show by United, the players, the coach, and everything. And this things happened at Old Trafford again. Yeah, Richard, I don't know. What's your thought on that game before we move to our next stop?
Sorry, I'll be facetious first, as I always am. I wasn't even slightly embarrassed by Manchester United's performance. I expected it. It's what they do. It's what I expected from them. What I find really amusing is how their coach looked. He looked as haunted as David Moyes before they sacked him. So I'm wondering. So what's next? Wednesday they have a match against Newcastle United at the so-called the so-called fortress that used to be fortress of Old Trafford. So it will be very interesting to see what happens in that match. If United lose that match, I believe their coach is in trouble.
No, they will lose it. They will lose it.
Hopefully. Sorry, we're supposed to be objective here, but if if they lose it, he's in trouble. He's really in trouble. And you see, that coach really doesn't really know what he's doing. I mean, he's chopping and changing. 6 months ago, Mr. Maguire was persona non grata. 2 weeks ago, he was now lauding the Maguire's praise. So, and this is the same Maguire in that match. It was almost like it was lost. So, well, we'll see what will happen. But as it currently, everybody has injuries. I mean, that Manchester United are not the only team that have injury problems, and other people cope with their injury problems. So, really, but like I said, Wednesday will be interesting. I think we'll have more clarity as to what United intend to do regarding the management if that result doesn't go in favor.
Yeah, I don't know if the best thing to do would be to fire Erik ten Hag at this point, because like I said, United have always found themselves at this bus stop with the last 4 or 5 managers they have had. So they probably need, at this point, need to look inwards and look at other reasons or issues causing this. Because if you remember, Ole came to when I think it was Van Gaal, Mourinho had this same kind of issue. Ole came in. He was supposed to be a temporary manager and won that famous game at PSG in France. And that night they confirmed him as the permanent manager. And he had a run of games, and we know how he ended up, and left. So something happened to David Moyes. It happened to, it's just been like that with United in the last last 5 or 4 managers. Exactly. So if you look at it like that, then you can say all we want to say about Ten Hag, but you can see that there's a little more to it than just the manager. So letting Ten Hag go will still bring the usual brief success or progress, and they revert back to the usual spot. So for me, if I'm a United board member right now, I will have to find another way to tackle this problem than just letting the coach go. I'm not saying he's not to be blamed in any way. He has his own fault as well, but I don't think it's just about the coach. I think there's something fundamentally wrong in United at the moment that they need to deal with than just firing coaches.
Reggie, maybe they should rehire one.
No, they should hire Roy Keane. Roy Keane. He seems to have all the solutions.
Unfortunately for United as well, most of their former legends or legends have all failed as managers. So you can't even go to them. We know what happened to Gary Neville at Valencia. He couldn't even win a game. He lost the job after 4 months. Roy Keane, like you mentioned, Choma, we know he has gone around Sunderland, Ireland, Republic of Ireland. He's gone all over the place, and he wasn't successful as a coach. Ryan Giggs was the only person that could have done something for them, but we know his personal battles, outside the game. So I don't know which of their former legends or legends that can come and help the team.
Rio
That's actually
Ferdinand.
the problem. The only person I can remember is Van Nistelrooy, what he did with PSV. But I think he looks like a smart dude. He won't want to take that job right now because of what is going on in United. So I don't know. Rooney is running all over the place. He hasn't been able to achieve anything with any team. The only good job he did, he's been to Derby, has come to MLS. Now I think I don't know what team is trying to hire him again. So
no, he's already hired. He's in Birmingham City.
Birmingham City.
He's back.
So I don't know. United is in a very, very big problem right now. I don't know how they're going to go about this one. And we'll only watch and see. Like you guys said, we'll wait on Wednesday and see what happens with that result. And it's not just winning the game. You can win a game and it will be still obvious that the team is not making any progress. So I don't know. We'll wait and see. Yeah, we have Nimi on the show. He has joined us, patiently waiting for his time to kick in. Nimi, welcome to the show.
Nimi.
Good to see you, bro. And I hope you had a good weekend. You're mute. You're mute.
Hey, thank you all. Thank you all. Reggie, I don't know if I had a good weekend, but it was good.
Yeah, the last time you appeared here, you were supposed to be celebrating with a bottle of wine. Somehow Arsenal said, hold on a minute, can do that next week. Today, I don't know what you planned with or what you came with. You just on time, we are about going into the Chelsea Brentford game. I was just telling our viewers that Chelsea has now lost won only 3 games out of 13 at the Stamford Bridge. Lost 3 consecutive games straight at home to Brentford. Brentford seems to be your boogeyman this time around. I don't know, what's the overall thought about that game as a Chelsea fan? Because yeah, as rival fans, people can do banter, but sometimes some of these things begin to look more serious than just banter. So as a Chelsea fan, what's your general view about that game?
Well, again, thank you all for thank you, Reggie, for inviting me to this show. Sorry, a little bit late. Nice to see Osborne, Chioma, and Richard. See Osborne all covered up in his jacket. It's cold. Well, Reggie, it's the story of the season for Chelsea, isn't it? You get chances and you fail to take them, and the other team takes it. The defeat to Brentford is, as you stated, it's now a norm. They have, as a matter of fact, Brentford has outscored Chelsea 8 goals to 1 in their last 3 trips to Stamford Bridge.
Wow.
I think Chelsea was
Ouch.
great. Chelsea was great. Chema got to rub it in. I think Chelsea was great in the first half. If you watch that game, we dominated the first half, but failed to take advantage of our opportunities. The team was playing well, and we just couldn't take advantage of our opportunities. In the second half, with the press briefer from Thomas Frank, the coach, he told his players, relax, believe you can pass the ball. Because in the first half, if you watch that game, they weren't passing the ball. The Brentford team, they were losing out in their 50-50 balls. And in the second half, all that changed. They were able to put 2 or 3 passes together. One thing I want to say, like I said last week with the gentleman that was on, he was high on Chelsea winning the league. I said it's going to be impossible. I wouldn't say impossible. It's going to be difficult for a top 4 finish for Chelsea at this point. This is why I say so. What's going on in Chelsea is typical from a team going through transition. And when you're going through transition, there's always that part of consistency. That's why we could play well against Liverpool. And the Chelsea fan base is like, oh man, Pochettino, we're winning this league. We play well against Arsenal, and I'm ready to pop champagne. I'm ready to drink some red wine from the hills of Burgundy in France. And we go play Brentford, and it's horrible. So let's start from that game. Pochettino made some blunders that are kind of, irredeemable. Playing Disasi on the right back when you have Gusto and you have James on the bench. You play Disasi and you play Madueke, and Madueke is a right-footed player that always wants to cut in. Disasi can't give you that option to cross that ball. He's not the right back. He's not. So what that does is our Kabu striker, Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson. You had a Sterling that couldn't cross the ball. You had Madueke that couldn't cross the ball. And he knew we had Cucurella on the left and Disasi on the right. Disasi can overlap to save himself. Cucurella can overlap, but Cucurella's crosses can't pass the first man, if you observe. So what did Nicholas Jackson do? Nicholas Jackson do. What did he do?
Michael Jackson.
He started coming back to release get the ball, and it was just horrible from the team selection, and it just derailed the whole plan. And if you check out the first goal, what was Disasi doing? What was Disasi doing in that? A right back wouldn't make that kind of a blunder. And you see the second goal. What's a worry in that second goal was the fact that our goalkeeper, Robert Sanchez, went to go head the ball, and he ran past all the outfield players to chase that guy to go score a goal. That says a lot about what's going on now. So I'm going to say, and some of these results are going to come, more of this is going to come. We're going through transition. I will be worried if next season this is still going on. I'm hoping Pochettino uses this season to figure out things. It's really difficult for people like me, Chelsea fans, on Tuesday and Wednesday, not to have our bottle of Heineken and listen to that Heineken music, for Champions League. And on Thursday too, not even going to Thursday night play. So it's difficult. So I understand where fans like Arsenal, Chioma, Osborne, and Reggie, I'm beginning to understand what you guys went through all those years. So we're going through it. I'm hoping it's just this year. But that, for me, Brentford came with a great plan and they executed. And it's tough right now to be it's tough being Chelsea right now. But I hope we'll get things through.
Yeah, I know this is beginning to happen. Sound like a repeated whatever by me about Chelsea. Talking about Thiago Silva, I still believe that having Thiago Silva in as a mainstay in your defense is a problem. If you remember going back to the Arsenal game, once Arsenal decided to go long against Chelsea, their defense broke because Thiago Silva, with his experience and his intelligence, tries to keep the game in front of him. But once a team decides to go behind the defense of Chelsea, everything crashed. That's what Brentford did in second half. They started being direct and going long and stretch that Chelsea's defense. And there was chaos all over the place. The biggest issue here is that Chelsea spent 1 billion and still couldn't, buy quality players for very important positions in the team. You don't have a good goalkeeper. You don't have
Reggie, you're putting salt into the injury right now. You're putting salt. I know what you're doing. You're
No. Seriously speaking, because it's really interesting. But
I beg to differ, Reggie.
Yeah, go ahead, Chairman.
I beg to differ. They spent money and bought good players, but the players are not refined. You said they did not buy good players. They bought good, unrefined players that will take time to fit into whatever their plans are. So that's why I beg to differ. And nobody can say that Sanchez is a bad goalkeeper. Sanchez is a good goalkeeper. But I think Chelsea needs to come and tell us what they always do with these goalkeepers when they come. Because I've been watching Kepa lately, and Kepa is as beautiful, as efficient. In fact, I saw him last week. Kepa is happy and keeping, yes. Kepa is happy and being a goalkeeper. What's his name of the other one that he went to go and join in Madrid? Courtois, right? Happy. Doing well.
Yeah, you're right. I remember when Courtois was leaving Chelsea. Chelsea fans were happy that he was.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
If we give Chelsea Martinez, Martinez now, our Martinez, that wants to win championship for Aston Villa now. I bet you, if you give Chelsea Martinez, that Argentina goalkeeper, they will ruin his life and make him mid. Because if your defense don't even know the beginning from the end, I believe there's a defense ball and there's a goalkeeper ball. Just like what Nimi was saying. What is his name? The Sisi. I don't know. It was the Chelsea fans that said that waiting be his name. Gusto. It was him that helped us now to score the second goal. Therefore, they will punish him, or he's not a good enough defender. That guy was good enough to stand in from the door baby captain that they have that is always breaking. He was good enough to stand in for that guy. That guy would have been a better person to have handled that game, but no. Coach decided to cook and leave their CC. And now they're now complaining about Cinderella. All of us need to come and agree that Cinderella is not that 100% player when you need it. Sorry, Kukure or Cinderella, anyone is here. Yes. So all I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to, this is not bands. I'm trying to put myself now in the shoes of Nimi and all my Chelsea fans. Understand? The problem is not that they don't have. Of course, they went to markets, they bought players. Look at players like Enzo, a whole World Cup winner, Caicedo, Ecuadorian masterclass. How far now? They bought people. Our Michael Jackson, Jackson. They said he's their next Drogba, and I believe Chelsea. The problem is that they will suffer for like 2 seasons before they come together. I'm sorry, Mimi, but that's the truth.
Richard, I see your hands up. What do you have to say before before I add my thoughts to this one? You're on mute, Richard. We can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm laughing at Chioma saying that is not bad and calling Kukurea Cinderella. But, you know.
Not bad. It's not bad. He has nice hair. He has nice hair. Nice hair. He has nice hair.
It's really as nice as your own. Anyway, that's it. But I think, you know, Chelsea actually have lots of good players. I think they've been really unfortunate with injuries. That's the truth. I think Chelsea are in a better position than Manchester United, although that's not saying much because probably everybody in the Premier League is in a better position than United. At least they have a coach that knows what he's doing. The mistake they will make is to be impatient with him. You know, he said this at the beginning of this season. The mistake Chelsea will make is to be patient with Pochettino. Nkuku will come back. They've been saying they don't have a striker. They have. He's injured.
They do.
Nkuku will come back. Nkuku and Jackson together. When they come back, you know, Mimi, take heart. You'll be fine in the end. I mean, you're not even in a similar position to Arsenal because you have a lot of good young players. Fofana will come back.
They do.
Yeah, Richard, let me ask you a question right there. You mentioned Nkunku. Something has, you know, anytime you talk about Chelsea, everybody says Nkunku is when he comes back. Let's not forget that this guy is new to the Premier League. That he was doing it in Bundesliga doesn't mean he's going to come into England and do the same thing. Don't forget that Timo Werner was hot in Bundesliga. He came at the same time with Kai Havertz. These two guys were ripping it apart in Bundesliga. They came to Chelsea and it could not work. So I'm not saying Kuku is not a good player. I'm not saying he's not quality. But let's not heap so much hope of Chelsea on this young man because, first of all, he's just coming back from an ACL, which we know normally slows players down. He has to recover from that. And he has to also deal with the issue of coming into a new team and a new league. So these are three big issues that he needs to ride to be able to make it in Chelsea. So to keep saying that Nkunku, when he comes, Batesi will start scoring goals, I don't know where that hope is. That hope, how strong it is, and he's going to be able to deliver Chelsea because it's going to be too much on his shoulders. And I don't even know he's going to come back and start playing 90 minutes. So, and Nkunku is not an out-and-out striker. Most of the time, he plays behind the striker. I don't know if Chelsea are going to use him as their main striker or behind the striker. So there has to, a lot of things have to come together. I don't think he's just having Kuku back into the team. He's going to all of a sudden deliver Chelsea. Fofana that you mentioned, before he got injured, Chelsea fans too were crucifying him that he's immature, that he's inexperienced. He was making some mistakes, some blunders. So
Fofana and is very similar to Saliba. Very, very similar. You know, they played in the same team.
Yeah, they did in France, I know. But
and I remember thinking at the time when Fofana first came to Chelsea, the first 6 months was really, really good. And I remember when they were loaning Saliba out, I was like, maybe Arsenal have chosen the wrong person. Fofana is a good player. And what will happen is, well, I just hope that he's been a bit injury prone. He's had 2 ACL ruptures, which
he needs to stay fit.
Yeah, but Chelsea have a lot of good young players. They have lots and lots of very, very, very good long player. So I'm not
Yeah.
even, so Nimi shouldn't be afraid. Yeah, I mean, it's not, maybe they'll struggle to finish in the top 6 this year, but I think it's looking better for Chelsea than it is for Manchester United, Frank. At the moment.
Ogum, you've been quiet. What next for Chelsea? Well, should they? Of course, I don't think they have any other choice than to keep faith with Pochettino and see what he cooks according to Choma. But obviously, the interesting thing about it now is that they bought so much player that they still need to buy more. So where do Chelsea go from there with regards to recruitment to strengthen the team? Because it looks like they need a striker, they need a central defender, they need probably in quote a goalkeeper. So if you were to be the board in Chelsea right now, what would be your next move to get the team firing?
I don't think they need a central defender. They have enough, right? I haven't seen Badiashvili lately. Nimi, is he injured or is he okay?
He's injured. He's just coming back slowly.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a strong center back. With him, yeah, Badiashvili. Yeah, with him there and Fofana. Is there Fofana there? There's another French guy there.
Yeah, that's Fofana, the one that Richard was talking about. The one
that
paid Saliba in
they used to play for Leicester City.
Yes.
Yeah, another strong center back. Right. So even Thiago there should really just be mentoring those guys and teaching them one or two things before he moves on. So they already have backups for Thiago Silva. I don't think they need a central defender anymore. I think Chelsea needs an attacking mid that's really good at opening up the defense.
Sorry to cut you short. Let's deal with that defense. I want to get back to you. Like you said, the Don and Thiago Silva, if he moves on, don't you think that Colwill is the central defender? So why are they not playing these players now? Why do they have to wait until Thiago Silva moves? If those guys are good enough, they should be playing right now and getting used to the mix of things in that department before Thiago Silva moves on. Thiago Silva is supposed to be playing maybe one game in 3 or 1 in 2, but he keeps playing 90 minutes in every game, which shows that the coach doesn't have confidence in those players.
That's not true. I have to respectfully, Osman, can I say, I have to, as he said, Badiashvili has been injured for months.
Yeah,
Fofana is out for months. The only available defenders, center backs that we have currently are Disasi, Colwill, and Thiago Silva. And if you observe, he has been playing Colwill from the left back.
So why is he not playing the central defense?
Because he feels Colwill can give more weight from that left and with his height too. So he wanted to play Disasi, Thiago Silva, and Colwill at the same time at the defense. And that is the problem. But when Badiashvili comes back and Fofana is back, expect to see Thiago Silva coming in 1 game in 3 games, taking it easy. It wouldn't be, if you observe last season too, Thiago Silva wasn't being played in all the games because we have Badiashvili, we had Fofana, and he wasn't playing all the games.
To be honest, I'm surprised seeing him a week in, week out for Chelsea. Okay, so thank you for that information.
There's no option. The only player left, they could even bring you Reggie. They could even bring you Reggie one day to come play for Chelsea because there's no center defender.
I'm sorry to call you. So go ahead with.
That's right. That's what I thought because I mean they've bought and they bought well. Every one of those guys they've bought is talented and has some pedigree, at least from the French league. They've been really solid players. So, for me, I think that what they need, they've made a good buy in Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer can play as a forward and play as a support striker. He's gifted, he's smart with the ball. Chelsea just needs someone with a solid working brain that can open up a defense and can score goals, right? If I were them, I'd recommend Emil Smith Rowe. If they get someone like Emil Smith Rowe, they'll start scoring goals. right?
We're not
2 to beat 1,
giving.
2 to beat 1. I mean, Smith Rowe is just the same type of forward that they need. Someone that can do one-touch passing, and if they get a chance inside the 18-yard box, they take that chance, right? That can help make things happen for them. Then, of course, they already have Nkunku, like we said. When he comes back from injury, he's going to help. You see, their team, I watched them against Arsenal. I felt that, they were unnecessarily gassed after that performance against Arsenal. But if you look at it closely, the goals that were scored against Arsenal were kind of fluky goals, right? Not taking anything away from Chelsea, they played well, right? The goals were terribly lucky goals, especially the Modric one. Why did Modric not play? Did Modric play the game yesterday?
No, I think he's in. I don't know.
Is he injured?
He wasn't even on the
He was
squad.
injured. He was
Okay,
injured.
he was injured. Yeah. So these things, I mean, he would have used the confidence gotten from that game against Arsenal, probably may have helped him in their games yesterday. So in their game yesterday. So that's the thing. Stop start, a bit of injuries, a bit of the coach not really settling on personnel. I think Sterling is the problem for Chelsea. Sterling is a problem for Chelsea. In the form that he is in now, I'm looking at him, I'm like, this reminds me of early Liverpool Sterling that would do everything, dribble everybody, but the final ball in the net is a problem, right? He's a very streaky player and forward. When he's scoring, anyhow. When he's not scoring, he misses chances that will make you pull your hair out, right? So that's the with Sterling. So they just need a goal scorer and an attacking mid, and I believe they are okay. Now, if they get an attacking mid, they can allow Enzo and Caicedo sit behind that person and mop up everything in the midfield. Those two guys have energy, can protect the ball, can pass the ball. They are skillful. They can move. They have good engines. Just get someone to walk in front of them. And they have to get rid of a few players. The likes of Noni. Noni isn't quite up to that standard yet. He showed a few flashes at PSV, on the wings. But I am not sure that he's the kind of person that will sustain a title challenge, for Chelsea. Modric, I believe, will come good because, he's the speed. They can always use his speed anytime, any day. So they might need to get rid of a few players, cut down the squad a little bit and add real quality that will take them to the next level.
Yeah, I hear you, Gum. I think one other thing that Chelsea need to find a way to solve is to get Reece James play 5 games consecutively. That guy, anytime Arsenal is playing against Chelsea and Reece James is on the pitch, I'm never settled. That guy, I don't know how injury is just tearing that talent apart. He comes and he goes. It's a huge pity.
Reggie, you make a strong point. Let me say something about Reece James. This is exactly the issue we had with Jack Wilshere, and we are currently having with Thomas Partey. Fortunately, I say fortunately for us now, Partey is coming on in age. It will be easy to make that decision to cut ties and move him on. It's not going to be easy for them to make that decision on Reece James because he's relatively young. The fear would be if we cut him now, somebody gets him and fixes the injuries.
The issue, like Van Persie in Arsenal as well. We only had him for 1 season. The next time he's gone to United and he delivered the trophy to United.
And he did not break.
So that's the thing. It's maybe a case of play him 1 game, remove him at a certain minute, preserve him, do whatever needs to be done. Let him play a run of games, not defined minutes.
Although
And
if James bends down to where he lace up his shoes, he can get injured. It's not about playing him in.
yeah, so some people have that issue, and
Yeah, it's really sad because another thing we are saying, we're talking about Chelsea missing chances and not scoring goals. I also look at the quality of the chances sometimes. Reece James is one player from the right wing that will put on a plate for a striker.
yes,
I know Chelsea are missing chances, but let's also think about the quality of these chances. There are chances and there are chances. So Chelsea,
I agree.
I don't think they are creating very quality chances, but yeah, they have the chances, but they're not really like the ball that None is struck on the bar. That wasn't a chance. He made it. But because he didn't score, somebody will now say he missed a chance. That wasn't a chance. That was something that he created out of nothing. I think Palmer had the same attempt. Those were not chances. It was just an attempt that didn't go into the net. Yes, he can score them every now and then. So Chelsea needs to create quality chances for your striker. And I think another thing is Jackson. I don't know if he's scared of missing chances, that he prefers to come back to get involved in every other thing on the pitch that has nothing to do with scoring goals. So, and this is where coaching comes in. Pochettino needs to tell him to just stay there. Just stay there. Because this guy is busy going right, going left, coming to the midfield, battling with midfielders, than to just, find a way to score goals. Yeah, against us now, they gave him one. He looked bemused. He looked confused. He didn't even know what to do with the ball in 6-yard box until Raya took the ball off his feet. So it's we can say Chelsea is a work in progress, but at the same time, this league waits for nobody. And once it continues like this, players will lose faith, and it will go south for the team. I think we'll spend some time on Chelsea. Let's go to Arsenal. Arsenal continue their unbeaten run to the season as well, just like their neighbors Tottenham. Arsenal won 5-0 to Sheffield United. I'm sure many can say that was expected, but let's not forget that the other big teams in the league struggled to get results off of Sheffield United, which they also tried to do against Arsenal. But what happened this time around differently was Arsenal was a little bit patient and didn't rush their approach. And once they broke Sheffield United down, somebody says when he rains, a pause. He started pouring. Saka missed the chance of breaking a record of the first another Englishman getting involved in getting involved in goals in straight 7 games for Arsenal. The last person to have done that was Ian Wright, but he didn't manage to do that. One thing, of course, we don't have to talk about in this game is that Nketiah, who came through this time, and he seems to always do that. Once Jesus gets injured and is not available, Nketiah comes in and tries to do a job. But still, many don't rate him. Many Arsenal fans don't rate him. And this time around, he came up with 3 goals, a hat-trick in this game. One other thing that was very obvious in the match was Arteta using his squad very well, resting a few players and still getting the job done. And like I've said in this channel many times, Arteta seems to me like a person that doesn't like to repeat mistakes. I think he's making use of the squad better this season compared to what he did last season. Gabriel Magalhaes was in the squad in this game. Odegaard has been struggling with form. Some say he's been playing with injury. He was rested as well. Smith-Rowe came in for him. Kai Havertz started as well. And Jorginho was rested. Kai Havertz and Smith-Rowe flagged Declan Rice left and right on the day. So it seems Arteta tried to correct some of the mistakes that he made last season. So Arsenal came triumph in this one 5-0. I don't know what do you think? What stood out for you in that game? Chema, let me start with you.
Well, what stood out for me was Eddie shutting down every claim that he's not good enough for Arsenal. I mean, many fans are always in his face, on social media, calling him out, how he's not a proper fit for Arsenal. I think I can't remember, one of the pundits said something about Eddie not being an Arsenal player. Probably if he goes to other clubs, he will do better. But just like you mentioned, it's like he always waits on Jesus to get injured, and then he would come and be the standing guy that we want him to. So what stood out for me basically was Smith Rowe, one of his lovers, yeah. I I love him as a footballer. I love his creativity. I love that assist he gave to Eddie. Just one touch. I'm losing my voice now. That's so much love inside of me for Smith. So so like I was so impressed that he got his time to play. I think the midfield stood out for me. And I was telling someone, what do you even expect since Martinelli's back on the wings and Saka is on the other side? If Eddie doesn't get goals today, then I would believe that something was actually wrong with him. And, shouting out to Tomiyasu, 50 games, first goal. That was such a gift. Yeah, I loved it. Eddie's second goal. Come on, like seriously. Let's give him his flowers. I can go on and on about it, but it was a good game. I know some people were saying it's Sheffield, I'm like, why are you people acting saying Sheffield, Sheffield? Sheffield could actually pose a threat. They know how to do that with big teams. They've done it with some of their favorites, and they're not even talking about it. So I think, it was a game worth winning, and, we came in and threw out the whole thing out there and got goals.
Yeah, Richard, Chama mentioned Tomiyasu right there. Oh, I've watched, Ateta has played him true to his words. I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was asked about Tomiyasu, and he poured a lot of accolades on the man and how much he's loved and rated in the team, that all he needed was to have run of games. And that he has done. He has given him run of games lately. Arsenal, it has been feeling that once Zinchenko is not in the team, Arsenal cannot invert from the left back position. But I think Tomiyasu has given that a good shot the few times that he has come in for Zinchenko. This one he didn't start. Zinchenko started, and we know the impact he had on the game and helping us break down Sheffield United low block. But Tomiyasu still came in and continued his a good run of form in the team. What have you made about him lately in the Arsenal squad?
Well, I think what Tomiyasu's greatest strength is that he knows what he does well.
Defense.
He's a defender. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, and he's reliable. There was one terrible mistake he made. I think it was
against Tottenham.
Yes, but he's not like a lot of East Asian players. They tend to be very reliable. These Japanese, South Koreans,
they're tenacious, very tenacious.
Yes, and they don't make a lot of mistakes, and they concentrate. Their concentration is they concentrate. They don't make a lot of mistakes. That's what I like about him. He's a reliable footballer. That's what I like about him.
The game in general. What's the general thought? Yeah.
What I liked about it is that we didn't beat Sheffield United, who have scored or have gained 1 point in their previous 9 matches. Mm-hmm. We beat them thoroughly. It would have been very disappointing if we had beat them 1-0 or 2-0. I'm glad that we were able to boost our goal difference, because now at least it's equal to the best teams in the division. I think our goal difference is equal to City and.
No, I think we're one ahead of City, but I think the same with
it's 15.
Newcastle.
It's plus 15. No, it's okay. Plus 15. Newcastle, Manchester City, and Arsenal are all plus 15.
Yeah. Okay.
So we took the opportunity, because these are the games that you have to sort of boost your goal difference. Newcastle did exactly the same thing. Why their own was more impressive because they scored 3 more goals and it was in Sheffield United's house. But
Yeah.
at least we took advantage of the fact that we were playing the bottom team in the division and boosted our goal difference.
Yeah.
So,
I hear you on that. Nimi, before let me touch base with you. I don't know if you watched that game before we go to Ugum to round up the Arsenal game for us. Are you there? What's watching from outside as a rival fan? What's impressing you most about Arsenal? What you scared of most about Arsenal, as you know, as a rival fan?
Man, Arsenal is doing great. Right now, the chopping and changing and teams are still performing at the elite level. So Chioma said the thing about Arsenal fans is they're fickle. Today Nketiah is the best. Next week, Osborne will be here to say, we need to invest in a striker because Nketiah is not good enough. Is Nketiah going to give you 25 goals to win the league? He won't. Is Gabriel Jesus going to give you 25 goals to win a league? He won't. For you to win a league, you need elite strikers. You need goal poachers. You don't need any seasonal strikers. Nketiah consistency. So who in that Arsenal team is consistent up front that can deliver like Saliba and Grebe Mahelez in that defense? So when I look at Arsenal title push and all of that, I see Arsenal fans gyrating. We know where the story ends. Talk to me April, and I'll remind Osborne, I'll remind Chioma, I'll remind Reggie that yes, Arsenal is doing good. It takes just 2 injuries to kill that Arsenal momentum. If Saliba gets injured, or Rice gets injured, that's it.
Fire.
Because Partey is party in, party out at the hospital. He will always be there, going through that. So I like Arsenal is doing good. They're doing good, but I don't think they have that consistency. If they really want to take this, they want to take this forward, they need to invest in a striker, in a goal poaching striker.
In a striker.
Yes.
Okay, I hear you on that. Ugum, are you going to round up the game for us? The Arsenal game. What's your overall thought? Did anything stand out for you? Nimi has raised some points there. I don't know if you agree with him or not.
I typically respect Nimi's opinions. Nimi has just reduced my highest regard for him. We cut it down by 50% because he's gone back to the regular Chelsea balderdash that every Chelsea fan offers. I mean, Nimi, please do better next time. Do better, yeah. This stuff you just said now is the typical drivel that we get from Chelsea fans. Oh, Arsenal are doing well. Oh, but at the end of the day, they will not win anything. What kind of that's the regular nonsense. Find something fresh to offer. Yeah. The first thing, the only thing I would take from what you just said is that you do not rate any Arsenal striker presently that can give you any up to 25 goals. Fair point. But a bit unfair to someone like Nketiah. Now, I personally, wait, let me land. I personally, the game on Saturday, in pivoting into the game, for the first 10-15 minutes, I saw Nketiah, the ball bounce off his feet 2, 3, 4 times. And I was shaking my head. I'm like, man, can't we do better than this guy? Yeah? General play, general link-up play, general, at the Arsenal, playing the Arsenal way, he's not quite up to scratch, right? But at the end of the 90 minutes, I told myself, listen, I've got to give this boy a chance, right? Arsenal fans are not giving him a fair chance, myself included. We are quick to dismiss this guy
Nimi, you've just sat down and said that Nketiah cannot give you 25 goals this season. But I dare say that if this guy, with the way he plays, is playing, is given a run of games and given the support, the chances are created for him, he will score 3 out of 5 chances. And it's possible. No, wait, Nimi, wait. It's possible that he can get 25 goals. The problem is that he's not the top striker. He's not taken as the top striker of the team. He's taken more as a backup. When Arteta was interviewed after that game, Arteta said, listen, I watched this guy in training. We've checked this guy over and over. This guy has a nose for goal that many strikers in the Premiership do not have. He can smell a goal, he will go for it. Right? So the manager knows why, in spite of all these things we are saying, in spite of all these things we are saying, he's sticking by this guy and saying, hey, if I give this guy a chance, he's going to reward me with goals. He has just scored a hat-trick. It may be seasonal, I agree. I am willing to give him a chance because, he's shown so far in the season that when given a chance, he tends to score more than not, right? Okay, so having said that, yes, Arsenal have been inconsistent prior to last season. I would say between last season and this season, Arsenal have actually been very consistent. Last season, towards the end, Saliba got injured. I think that this season, Arteta has done, the board and Arteta have done something to try and mitigate that risk of Saliba getting injured. We are better prepared right now if Saliba gets injured.
And he has been rested in some games as well, like he did Gabriel yesterday. Too. There are some games that Saliba did not play at all, and he was rested. So I don't know if maybe I'm going to watch more Arsenal games.
And we also bought a player that we've not used because he got injured on the first day of the season. A player with very solid pedigree, Timber, that when he's added to the team will still offer another option. So, if you're a rival fan, you can just say, hey, okay, these guys and all that, they're not consistent and all that. But please, do not get into that wishful thinking, which is the thing. All they are wishing is that Arsenal will be what they're not facing the reality of seeing the progress that the team is making. They're just settling in that comfort zone. Oh, we're waiting for April and May to laugh. While you're waiting for April and May, please, can you kindly acknowledge what the team is doing presently, right? So when I'm analyzing Chelsea, I'm not saying, oh, Chelsea did not do anything last season. They will not do anything this season. I'm looking at what's currently going on, trying to analyze what the problem is, and trying to suggest solutions. Not settling into that banter thing that frankly irritates me.
I don't even know what inconsistency means by that. This is a team that has not lost a game this season in the league. So I don't know what inconsistency means.
Osborne already.
Yes, sir.
I will, all of us will agree right here, apart from the Sheffield United display this season, Arsenal hasn't shown the same amount of confidence in their play in terms of the way they win the games.
It's not true.
No, I'm coming. Hear me out. In the way they win games at the start of last season, I'm saying the way they win, they have struggled a little bit this season. And when I say, hey, you say Eddie Nketiah, I have Arsenal, like, people will say, yeah, you played against Sheffield United. Can this Eddie Nketiah be a suitable backup for even Gabriel Jesus is struggling?
The guy scored against Chelsea last season, scored against United. I think he got a goal too against he also plays in big games.
The reason Osborne, Chioma, and everybody hasn't rated Eddie Nketiah is because of what you see. The dude is, as you said, is at best a backup striker. I wish Arsenal well.
Definitely.
But all I'm saying is, in the history of the Premier League, winning championships, from Haaland to Aguero to Diego Costa to Van Persie to Thierry Henry to Eric Cantona, we could go back to Alan Shearer, all those guys.
I beg to differ. But City have won. Nimi, City have won how many championships in how many seasons?
They've won
right?
5 championships.
All of them. Thank you. All of them won, except one without Haaland. Aguero was there, but before Aguero, when Aguero left, City won two championships without an established 25-goal striker.
And what people forget that Arsenal broke their own goal scoring record last season with Saka, Martinelli, and Odegaard scoring 15 goals, 45 goals.
One more point.
So and then another thing you're talking about. I'm sorry, 1 second. We're talking about Arsenal not being confident. What happened? What I've seen happen this season, Arsenal has changed their approach to games. Nketiah is reserving, making these players not exert too much energy in games so that they can last the long haul of the season. Like I said, when a team has played 10 games, won 7 and drawn 3, I don't know where inconsistency comes in. I don't know where lack of performance comes in. Arsenal is 1 point short of where they were at this stage last season. Just 1 point. And in these 10-9 games, they played City and won. A team that they've not won in 7 years.
I'm talking about the overall play. Last season, you had a settled.
That's what I'm saying. Last season, they were ferocious, and Nketiah was using the same players week in, week out. So this season, he has decided to rotate, to use the squad better. Obviously, you're going to lose that momentum in some games. You know, I understand what you're saying. Arsenal fans, we are complaining about it in the first 3-4 games. But Nketiah has proven all of us wrong, that he is trying to go a different route this season. The team is controlling the games better. Arsenal right now, you find it difficult to create chances against Arsenal like last season. Arsenal will score you 3, but you have like 4 scoreable chances against them as well.
Reggie, arrest my case. Arrest my case. Osborne is like a
don't let them do that.
There was one thing that Richard said earlier that I made a mental note of to differ slightly. You know, was it Richard or Nimi said it? Somebody said that it was Richard. He said that yes, we beefed up our goal, that it would have been disappointing for us to have beaten Sheffield United by 1 goal or 2 goals. Me now, speaking for myself this season, I would take 38 0-0 wins. I would take again 98. I know you're saying something. I know you're saying something.
Let me cut in. Sorry. Let me cut in. Sorry for this interrupting. To just understand what I was saying. It was because it was Sheffield United. I would, under normal circumstances, I agree with you. I would take narrow wins, but there are certain teams that you need to hammer.
I still differ. You see, yes, I agree. There are certain things you need to hammer. Right, but we've done all these hammerings over the years. I'm at a point where I don't really care about hammerings. I care about getting these 3 points and moving on. I'm not gonna hammer the coach or the players for not scoring tons of goals, right? If they are solid enough to get me wins, you know. So that's speaking to the same point that Reggie was just making. The way that Arsenal are playing this season suits me just fine, right? The flair and the fluidity and all those things, I believe, will come when they come, and they may come in maybe sparks here and there. We score big wins here and there, but generally, all we need to do is just get our 1-0 win and move on, because trust me, these same teams that we may struggle against, may get better results against our rivals. As long as we get our win and move on, let's just not kill ourselves over all these other things that the other clubs are using to banter. If we beat a side 1-0 and Chelsea beats the same side 3-0, and the next day another side that will beat 1-0 beats Chelsea 2-0. Remember now we've got 2 wins.
6 points.
They've got 1 win. They've got 1 big win and 1 loss. We are ahead of them, right? So the point is, just get your wins and be going. If it's 0-0, that's fine. As long as we hang in there till crunch time, I'm good.
Unlike last season, I thought I wouldn't do what he did on Saturday, playing Kivio with Saliba, arresting Gabriel. He wouldn't have done it. last season. So so we have to expect sometimes not having this fluidity. He brought in Smith Rowe for the first time to start with Kai Havertz in front of Declan Rice. You expect some level of inconsistency in the performance because they've not been playing together for the season started. So these things will happen. But like Ugo mentioned, and like I expect the team to be, just like City does, be difficult to beat. So don't lose. I watched City this season play against Burnley. Burnley tore City apart, but they couldn't just score. By 10-15 minutes at the end of the game, City came up and won that game 3-1 or 3-0. Nobody said anything about. Nobody said anything about how City was struggling in the beginning of the game. Everybody knows that City won that game. So I think we Arsenal fans need to come to reality the time that what we need is our 3 points at this point, and to stop people like Nimi laughing at us in May, winning trophy at the end of it. Then you can.
Reggie, please let's also know that Tomiyasu, interesting statistic. Tomiyasu is our 7th scorer that's not Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Jesus. Nketiah. That's not a forward. 7th scorer already this season. That's not a forward for us now. So if we share goals like this, we don't need a 30-goal scorer.
Yeah, like I said last season, Arsenal broke their own goal scoring record in a season with Jesus and Nketiah. Jesus didn't even play for 5 months. Nketiah didn't play until Jesus got injured. So as long as the team is scoring goals and winning games, of course. Sorry,
Right. It's always good if you have all the best teams. They generally, no matter, even if they're sharing goals around the team, they will have one player that scores at least 20. I'd actually prefer it if we had, and we've had that in the past, with Henri, right?
Van Persie.
Yeah, Van Persie. It's important. Don't be deceived. It's always. Yeah, it's good that the goals are shared around.
Yeah, we'll have 1 minute to go. But Richard, something came to my mind this week that Gabriel Jesus is just 26 years. He's just entering into his prime. That goal he scored in
Sevilla.
In Sevilla last week is a goal scoring striker scores. So it's possible Jesus is just coming into his prime as well. So let's not believe that's Jesus that's what we're going to get. He's just 26 years this season. So probably he's maturing into his prime as well. So let's bear that in mind. It's possible that for this season and next season, Jesus will become that man we all want him to become. Our time is up, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Today, I promise that we're going to be more consistent for our viewers and turn out this content the way we're supposed to. We'll be having a pre-game show for the weekend this week. Our viewers, stay tuned, and we are still begging. I know we are 4-3 right now. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and continue to enjoy the content that we offer. And we hope to see you guys very soon. Thank you guys for stopping by.
I don't know. Chioma is smiling too much. Osborne is roaring like a lion these days too much. I don't like what's going on. Osborne is roaring. He's roaring like a lion. The smile is too much every week in, week out. What is going on?
We won 5-0. Chelsea lost 3-2.
Osborne, your confidence these days is too much, man. I don't know what's going on. You're even running faster on the field as a referee these days. I don't know what's going on, man. Well, you guys have a good one.
That's one. Good to always have you, man. It's always nice to have you around.
Okay, man. No problem, man.
I'll call you. I have a message.
Okay, call me. I hope next week you guys will not be smiling like this. I'm tired of this.
Trevor, good night, and thank you for stopping by and cutting short your sleep for us and giving us as usual. Nimi is happy. We hope to see Nimi with his red wine.
I will bring it. As a matter of fact, next week I will bring in a white champagne to toast to when we beat Tottenham, when we beat Spurs. So
yeah. No, I'll drink that with you.
I'll take that one.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's all drink that.
We'll back you on that one. Nimi. We'll back you on that.
Okay, man. No problem, guys. Take care.
Good night, everybody.